Hello and welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko, and joining me tonight is co-host Minnie Hunt. Good evening, Minnie.
Good evening.
How are you doing
How's
tonight?
it going?
It's going well, going well. I'm trying to figure out where John is, but we're gonna have a great show regardless.
John must be off getting you a last-minute anniversary present.
That seems unlikely.
Mailing the t-shirt that he never mailed.
What have I done? Roger Moore. I forgot to get the beer out of the fridge.
Oh, Greg.
I'll be right back.
You go and do that. And I'll talk about the topics for tonight.
That's a perfect idea.
Can you be back in like 30 seconds?
I can be back in a minute.
Okay.
Watch the hell out there, Jason Reeves. I asked her if he said, Jason Reeves says, I'd stay and talk longer, but I got to take Greg's wife to dinner for her anniversary.
Oh, nice.
Where's that? Nice where's that mute button? Let's see. What options do we have for Jason? Let's see. Delete comment. No, put user in timeout. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right.
You say hello to the friendly people, and I'll be right back.
I will. Guys, oh no. It's just us. Tonight's topics are recruiting, football recruiting, of course, Venu Sports, the super sports streaming platform, as well as Husker Dominos, which was given this name by Greg. And when I first read it, I didn't know what he meant. So tonight we're going to find out. And lastly, AC/DC Thunderstruck. Is it the best song of all time? Or do you have other ideas? And now, oh gosh, did somebody say? This says, Jason Reeves, Minnie, are you an elementary school teacher? I did teach elementary, but in a different country. So, does that qualify me? I don't know. Let's see. Living in Omaha, David Matney says, the official real estate agent of the Five Heart Podcast said, sounds like Jeopardy. I'll take recruiting for 100. I know. Guys, you know I need Greg here. And all of you. So just help me out.
Okay, I'm back. I apologize.
I'm so glad you're back. And so
what did I miss?
You don't want to know.
No, I feel like I missed some important stuff. By the way, I sent a message to John. I said, John, and he just says no. So I think it's just you and me.
All right. Well,
all right.
At least you're here.
Well, yeah. Yeah, All right, so here's the thing. Roger Moore says, time for tonight's beer. And we know, long-standing here for weeks, months even, the unofficial beer of the Five Heart Podcast has been Yuengling, right? But I have these just for the show. But today was my anniversary, so might be also why I forgot to get the beers, because I've kind of been drinking since about 3:45 today.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. Like I was grilling, I had ribeyes and made sweet potatoes. I didn't really do a whole lot of work today. So anyway, because I was saving Yuenglings for the show, I was drinking these earlier. And this is from Kentucky Brewery, and it is Vanilla Barrel Cream Ale.
Ooh. It sounds like a vanilla root beer or vanilla cream soda.
Well, no, but it's finished off in bourbon barrels. It's 5.5% ABV. It's very smooth, very enjoyable beverage. I'm just trying to figure out. There's no John tonight, and I already left these heathens in your charge for just a couple of minutes, and we saw how that went. So if I drank something that was not Yingling, would they riot and revolt? I have both.
They would.
I've had both. I'll probably drink both.
Okay.
Let's see here. All right, so we'll start with this. It won't take long to drink.
I had on a different shirt tonight, and then I remembered, oh shoot, I better go put my baseball jersey on because it's a big week for baseball. But the shirt I was gonna wear was for you, Greg, and for many of the chat. It said,
I'm married, so don't be wearing anything for me.
No. It's a good one. It's a good one. It said something like, my football friends have a drinking problem.
Yeah, that's me.
Or my drinking friends have a football problem. That's it.
I'm definitely more the football friend with the drinking problem. So, Jason Reeves says, I might have come in a little hot, but I'll bet Greg has plans for his anniversary weekend. He's a goof, not a total bastard. So, honestly, our plans this weekend, we are going to a wedding on Saturday of our babysitter. So she's getting married. And so we're going to be doing that. I wasn't intentionally being, trying to be inappropriate, but before the show, because I grilled and did some workout in the garage and stuff like that, I usually shower in the morning, right? And because get clean, get office days, things like that. But I was like, I want to get the grill smoke smell off me, so I showered tonight. But before I did, I said to my wife, I said, I'm gonna go shower unless you need anything from me tonight. And she says, she's like, I'll try to get you this weekend. It's like,
oh,
that's
very nice.
Best thing I can. Okay.
An IOU. Very nice.
I like that Jason's wearing a banana hammock for me. So I think that's for me.
Clicked off of the other one that I just read.
What was the other one?
Was it a salmon shirt? Like yours that you're wearing tonight from Rostovsky.
No, it
wasn't salmon. It was actually red. Redder than Greg's shirt.
I'm going to start anytime Aaron R makes a comment that we highlight. I'm going to start saying his name like if you ever seen Monsters Incorporated or Monsters Inc. if you have kids or you were one at one point, and that kind of a slug looking monster, who's always Roz, I think is her name, who's always wanting the forms and the paperwork turned in, but she's always like, Wazowski. Hey, Rostovsky, shut up. That was a lot of pull on that taffy to get where we got to go. So. Yeah, Fred. It's marital bliss. We'll call it that today. It's our anniversary. What was it?
15 years. Do you know what 15 years is?
Like, what do you mean? Like the gifts?
Actually pay attention to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the traditional gift, because there's traditional and modern. The traditional gift is crystal. The modern gift is a watch. I guess gemstone for 15 is a ruby. And the flower for 15 is a rose, and the color is red. So my wife had delivered to her office today 15 red roses. Her gift is actually it's en route. I didn't realize the shipping would take forever, but it's crystallish. So
nice.
Fred,
wow,
I'm not.
That's impressive.
Fred, shame on you, Fred. Also applause, but shame. Scott Schrader says, good evening, Corn Nation. I have arrived, so you can start the format now.
Thank goodness. You missed the first part.
Yeah, way to go. Also, Josh Hansen messaged me saying he's going to be late. So
it's a good thing. Got his note.
Do I write for a bridal magazine on the side? Fred wants to know. Learning so much today. I don't. I Googled that, and I believe it came from Good Housekeeping. So yeah,
That is so awesome.
I
don't think I've ever looked into anything like that.
well, here's the thing: it's like we have young children, so it's not like getting crystal anything kind of seems like a bad idea. Maybe if I I'm not trying to be like crass or anything like that, but if I had to knock her up, like my mother-in-law predicted 6 months into the marriage, I bet she'll be pregnant. Then if we didn't have 3-year-olds running around, I'd feel more comfortable getting crystal. But what I have, it's supposed to be like etched with a picture of our wedding. It's going to have a little backlight behind it. It's going to be pretty nice. So,
Does it have a red N on it? A ruby N?
you can change the LED color. So
Nice.
Zizak says, "Good evening, gent and Minnie."
Hello.
I did. I legit, Roger. I googled it, but not during the show, so I think it's okay. And another 5 points from Jason. Thank you, Jason. I like the way the show's going. I need to start drinking at 3:45 every week.
Who knew?
Who knew that all it took for me to have a good show was more beer, right? I think everybody's sitting at home watching like we all knew. We all knew the secret to the show's success is Greg drinking beer. So Josh is going to miss out on all this. Minnie, you have yeah, poor Josh. We have something of a show. We each contributed comments or not comment topics this week. And you have, dare I say, perhaps the most important one.
Oh, you're rating them now.
No, I feel like there's ones that are directly affecting the future of Nebraska football, and there's some that are speculative, and then there are some that are just tangential at best, and some that are barely aligned. So,
yeah. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. What? Okay, Fred Sacco says the secret sauce is getting Greg sauced. Yeah. It is. Thought.
By the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't just say, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast.
I said that.
Oh, I wasn't. It was when I was on my beer run.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a horrible human being.
I got it right this time. There was no Omaha ha ha. Oh. And phenomena.
All right. Well, let's dive in, shall we? It's going to be a busy month of June for our coaching staff on the recruiting trail, Minnie, and you're going to tell us all about it because I don't know anything.
That's what I'm here for. We know that June they've been stocking up. Oh.
I'll make sure that John puts this on my tab. He owes me.
I know. You're like keep a running ledger of this.
The only ledger that I have is the donations that were made for Team Jack. I'm not worried about this. This is just for
I'm
fun.
joking.
I know, but yeah. Thank you, David.
But just to rub it in, John. He needs it. Okay.
We appreciate the Matney family here at the 5 Heart Podcast.
Yes, we do. In June, we have, I heard the last count was 24 recruits coming to visit. In June 14th, the weekend of June 14th, and June 21st. We have 6 recruits so far on campus, including the 4-star wide receiver, Corey Sims. He's 6'3", 185 from St. Louis, Missouri. That's June 14th. And June 21st, we have...
He goes to CBC. All right. CBC is a pretty prominent school in St. Louis, private school. If I remember correctly, no. I was thinking Ezekiel Elliott, who played at Ohio State and then with the Dallas Cowboys. I was thinking he went to CBC. He went to John Burroughs. My apologies. I apologize.
It's okay.
So yeah, Corey Sims, 6'3", 205. He's the number 5. He's the 50th ranked player according to 247 in the country. He's the number 4 player out of Missouri. No, that's not right. He's the 50th wide receiver, number 4 in the state of Missouri. He's the 261st player, ranked player in the country, nationally, 4-star. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to visit a week. He's going to visit Nebraska a week before he visits Mizzou. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So here's the thing. Then the following weekend, June 21st, we have 16 recruits on campus, and last I counted, there's seven 4-star recruits coming to visit.
That's this many.
Yeah. Very good, Greg.
It's almost how many beers I've had today.
We have everything from offensive linemen, defensive line, edge, tight end, wide receiver. The thing about the wide receiver that's coming to visit is he's narrowed it down to 3 schools. We're one of them. He also played with, guess who?
Corey Sims.
TJ Lateef in Texas. And we just got his commitment. So we're looking really, really good for 2025.
It's amazing how a competent coaching staff which we have not had a really solid recruiter who was able to sustain it. And maybe, this is 2 off seasons, so maybe it's tough to say, because the sample size is so small, but like Bill Callahan was a hell of a recruiter. And the reason we had success after him was with his players. Bo Pelini didn't like to recruit. Mike Riley was not, I guess, aggressive enough. And we all know about Scott Frost just not even calling, players. Top talent, some people on this show would say, not even bothering to give them a call. So it's nice to just have a coaching staff that kind of understands things. And I'm okay with Matt Rule, and I think I've always been okay, but I'm okay with all of his old Texas connections. Texas is a recruiting hotbed, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're overlooking Nebraska kids to go. The amount of talent that's staying home from Nebraska on scholarship, or at least preferred walk-on. It's a complete night and day from what we've had in maybe the last 10 or so years.
When I was looking at all the recruits coming, and I know this has everything to do with the rating system and the fact that, it's in Nebraska. Almost all the 3-stars that are visiting are from Nebraska. So, I mean, they're getting a lot of great guys to come and check out Lincoln. But in Nashville, there was the Elite Series recently.
Yes.
And there were a couple of interviews, and one of them was with Michael Terry, and he literally could be our next 5-star. And he wants to visit Nebraska again. He wants to come to the Colorado game. He was at the spring game with his family. And he said that he texts Dylan and he hung out with him at the spring game. And then just now I saw that, where did that go? I'm going to show this. Nope, wrong one. Scott Schrader said, forget about David Sanders. He's not coming to NU, unfortunately. Well, that's a bummer, because when he was interviewed, David Sanders, he's a 5-star offensive lineman, they asked him, why is he even considering going to Nebraska? And he said, because Nebraska pulled the number 1 player out of the 2024 class, Dylan. And that's what got Nebraska on his radar. And he said that Dylan texted him and said, I need you to come block for me. So Dylan is like Getting the recruiting on.
It's we got a couple of comments here about past staffs. Fred says at least Rule isn't sacrificing local kids to get those Cardinal Mooney players. That was a bit of a problem for the Youngstown native Bo Pelini. Scott Schrader says former head coach recruited co-ed. That's Scott. I think he's trying to dip his toes into the pool that Fred Sacco lives in.
Loves to, yes.
Scott, this is not me saying stay in your lane at all. If you're gonna do that, there's no different
knowledge.
You just gotta embrace it, and double down and just yeah. I appreciate it. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says 100% agree. It's nice to have a competent coaching staff. Imagine all the one-score losses that could have been wins with a little more effort from the coaching staff. You get that competence, you get that effort from the coaching staff, especially on the recruiting trail, and then maybe you have the talent to turn that 5-point loss or 3-point loss into a 3 or 5 point win. You can flip that score a little bit. So every time we were in that, last half of the fourth quarter and it's a 21-24 thing, they always post that graphic about Nebraska. This is the last 4 seasons of, in one-score games, they're arbitrary. I don't know the exact number. Let's say 3-20. I feel like it's about that. I don't think it is quite that, but I'd like to not be in a situation where we have to see that graphic ever again. So,
whoa, what happened? Wrong one. Okay. Fred Sacco says, I didn't dip my toes in anything. Scott Frost did. I don't want to get a disease.
That's not what I meant.
That's
Fred.
but that's an example. That's a good example.
That's fair. All right, Scott. If you're gonna go, you got to go full Fred. Basically,
Guess who finally decided to show up?
Uh-oh. Who finally decided to show? It's Josh.
Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Hansen.
You missed. Justin's like, Josh late again.
I saw Justin actually commented on the live stream, like the upcoming, at 11:36 this afternoon.
Well, 11:36 would be in the morning.
Oh, true. Right.
I'm just saying.
Maybe it was 1:36.
Josh says, I'm properly scolded. Sorry, Minnie. F off, Craig. Hey, it's my anniversary. If anybody has an excuse to not be here, you'd think it'd be me. All right? Josh was like, just starting dinner. Gonna be late. It was 9 o'clock. I'm like,
Jeez.
Dude. Look at living in Omaha. David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Part. The official realtor of the 5 Part. I'm so excited, so joyous about this comment. I can't even get the full title. The official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast says full Fred Sacco. It's a thing. Justin confirmed it was 1:36 this morning.
1:36 this morning.
Which makes sense because that's about when I got everything finished up to actually get the stream built. I was up late last night. I don't sleep a whole lot.
Oh my gosh.
It's midnight to 1 a.m. every night and then up by 6. So
I could not do that.
Well, that's what I talked to my wife about that. She's like, I'm sorry, I like sleep. I'm like, I like sleep too. I just the evening when everybody's in bed, that's the only time I have to get anything done. Laundry without kids jumping in the, all right. Enough about me. I'm fine. That's first world problems. I have a working laundry washer and dryer. I don't have to go do laundry in a river, so we're okay.
Mike Schuster says, Minnie would have scripted it if you would have been gone. You don't want to see me all to myself. We got that for the first 30 seconds, and it was not pretty.
I'm afraid it would be like an audiobook.
You are.
Right? If Minnie had to do a whole show by herself, it would be, and this is I'm not trying to.
No, it's okay.
It
I
would
know.
it would be like she's a grade school teacher and she's just story time for all the children out there. Keep your hands down. We got to get through this chapter, and because she has in the notes, the show notes, after each main topic, she's like, take comments. And so we're like, no, hands down. It's like in Varsity Blues, hands down, Billy Bob. So,
funny. It's true though.
Fred says, I used to script my first 15 comments, but I just decided to let it fly. And that was something I don't know if I talk about this enough. And this show's not about me, so I apologize for wasting everybody's valuable time. But I got out to Chadron, Nebraska, less than 2 weeks before the first football game that I was supposed to ever broadcast. And my high school didn't have football. I watched a lot of football, but I was very dumb on a lot of the verbiage. So I picked up a lot of things from playing video games, like football video games, picked up a lot of the wording and things like that. Just like, I got to learn on the fly. But Fred says,
that's a great story.
Well, I'm not done yet.
Oh, well, I know the end.
No, you don't.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
I every Saturday morning, and Josh may know this, he probably didn't listen, but I had the Country Kitchen Coaches Show. I'd go out, and any coach that came out and visited with me, and talked on the radio, everybody got free breakfast buffet. But that's where I learned that coaches would script like their first 10 or 15 plays offensively. And that way they don't have to think about it. They can, all right, regardless of the situation, we're going to stick to the game plan. So when Fred's comment brought back a 21-year-old memory. So thanks, Fred.
Well, actually, Lou Holtz, he's the one who originally started that. Like if you're going to have this happen, he had the plan down. Like you're going to run possibly this play or this play or this play.
Yeah.
Sorry. Because I wanted to talk about this particular comment. Can she read John's book to us? Because from Josh Hansen, I love audiobooks. I drive a lot, and so I'm always listening to an audiobook. So yes, I'd be happy to read John's book.
Do you think that if I just started reading chapter 1, which I have right here, I don't know if anybody I don't know if the viewers would just drop they crater. So I'm hesitant to do it, but I've told John, I was like, John, we have the means. We can do an audio version of this book. Just let me know when. He's like, I don't know.
That would be fun. Yeah, I like that.
So that's Josh. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Hard Podcast, says, I used to Google my comments before the ban. Josh also says, is there audio of that game somewhere? It was mid to late August 2003, Chadron Cardinals at Torrington, Wyoming. I don't believe there's still audio of that from 21 years ago.
Too bad.
I do have some audio clips of some of so a lot of you Nebraska residents will know Sports Nightly, and I don't think they've done it a number of years. And I'll be honest with you, I stopped paying attention when I moved out of Chadron, but they used to do high school highlights. John Bishop, when he was the host of the show, play-by-play, high school play-by-play announcers from across the state would send in a little summary of the game and some highlights, and then they would aggregate that, and they'd put a little, and whoever they did voice had like a kind of like a Howard Cosell type of voice. And I made it on statewide radio a few times. I've got some of those clips that I kept. So those are fun. All right. What, let's see, I'm trying to get you caught up.
We're caught up to section 2, item D.
We're still taking comments on.
Take comments.
Josh says, if Minnie reads John's book, she's got to get the verbiage down. Shit asses and toad heads.
Mm-hmm.
Justin asks if I read the book to my kids. I don't read that book to my kids, but I do read other books to them. So, all right. Part 2, section D. Let's take comments.
That's what we just did.
Okay, so now we're on to section 3.
Somebody said my mic is a little goofy. Thank you for telling me.
That's Josh. Josh says, Minnie needs to turn her mic up or my feed is goofy. You are a little quiet. I wasn't going to complain, honestly.
You never did.
I never complain. You're right. I'm not a complainer by nature.
No, you never complain about my mic.
I definitely let you know when it's too loud.
You've never... Okay.
Fred says, shit asses and toad heads, their hit single, Welcome to My Bathroom, rocked. I think, did Fred, correct me if I'm wrong, did the Circle Jerks do a cover of that song? This is great. Aaron Keith says, damn, I'm tardier than Josh.
Okay, is that better? Anybody?
I can't hear you at all now. Are you there?
What? Are you serious?
Can anybody? I can't hear Minnie at all. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says, Minnie reading the show notes sounds like we were in church. And now reading from section 2, part A, Dylan Raiola.
What the heck is going on? You guys, okay, I have all of this fancy equipment that I keep buying. Is this better?
That's better.
Anyways.
It helps when you shout.
I will. I'm a soft talker.
Let it all out.
So
these are the things. Oh, no, you're right. It's too early in the show to get talking about music. We'll do that up.
Can I finish what I was going to say? Okay, so I bought this prompter so that I can read if I need to, do a script for myself. And I bought the mic that goes with it, and then I bought the camera that goes with it, and I bought a light that goes with it. And I still can't figure out the prompter and the mic I've been messing with almost all day. And then I get this.
Like Fred Sacco, Greg was backup singer for Tears for Beers. Everybody wants to drink my beer.
It's a good song. How do you know all this cool music?
How
do you know all this cool music? You're not even that old.
I'm actually very smart, though. Like, I listen.
That doesn't.
I listen to a lot of.
All right, give me your top 2 songs from the 70s.
You know what? All right, I could probably. Oh, I gotta Google and see if it's actually from the 70s. No. I love Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. I know a lot of people go Dream On.
Is that from the 70s?
I'm going to Google it.
I don't know. It sounds like an 80s. I think you must have an older
1975. 1975.
That was a good year.
And I can double down on it because it's on the Dazed and Confused soundtrack.
Oh, my gosh.
What?
All right.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
That was one. What was the other one?
Josh says, I worked in very old radio. Are we...
no, I just want to know. Because you had somebody that influenced you.
I worked in classic rock radio. I worked in country. I mean, like, I've listened to, like, my dad graduated high school in 72.
No way.
Yeah. Don't let that get out there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but he graduated. He's 70. So I mean, all the stuff that I driving around in his truck with him or the Ford Bronco when it was the Cardinals ball game or something like that. We were listening to the hits, so to speak. So
Very good.
um,
Okay. 1975 was a very good year.
that's what Fred says. I think
Fred
that's probably the Fred he was born, or the Fred he was born. That's the year he was born. I was going to say the Animals' House of the Rising Sun, but that was in the mid '60s. I mean,
See,
but
I
Zeppelin.
go back to the 60s.
Well, I mean, I'm a big I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan. I like the Who, although I think they kind of trend later '60s or late, based on what I remember. I don't remember much. I don't remember much of the '70s. It was a weird place in my life. So,
Hey, at least I have something going on right.
Yeah,
lighting.
Your lighting. With your lighting, you can definitely tell that your shirt is red and not salmon. So,
See, this is important. Maybe the most important thing of all, Greg.
so MK says immigrant song, and I'm highlighting that for a reason. First of all, it's a phenomenal song. Secondly, is I went to a concert, which I don't do much anymore because I'm in my 40s and I have kids. But one of my really good friends is the front man for this band. They've been around in and out for 20 years. They had a soundtrack to a Marvel movie 20 years ago. So they made it. They're getting nationwide airplay. But the name of the band, Revis, R-E-V-I-S, I recommend them. I was trying to think, is there a Revis song that we could incorporate in the show when we get to that topic of that kill the light, do the light, the fire and drum rotation stuff, but I don't know if they have any stadium rock songs. But I went to the reunion show this past Saturday night, and they actually played the song. And the singer's got a great voice, and he nailed immigrant song. So that's thanks Rostowski, or no, hashtag MK. Quick.
Okay. Hold on. Something just happened.
What did you? Rostowski's not wrong. Stick to the songs related. Are there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, thank God. It was getting all distorted, the sound on my end. Hopefully it wasn't for everybody else.
Let's see. I do hear.
We have some housekeeping. Wait, what?
Well, I was just because I was sharing a story and I got catching up on all the comments. So Josh says that my audio was glitchy. Scott says Greg's audio being hacked by China. Justin says hashtag fix Greg's internet. Rostowski says my internet's going out. Fred says someone's pulling my internet taffy. Someone else is clicking comments that they're not supposed to be clicking. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says Greg's audio is bad.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me. I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh no, what did I do now? Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Can everybody
well, they're still with us. Greg?
I'm here.
We can hear you fine.
All right. Perfect.
It was just like a second there.
All right.
Can we do some housekeeping real quick? Oh, thank you.
This is a great, important, perfect time to remind all of you, especially if you're on YouTube, smash that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And Minnie's going to do the honors and point to the notification bell so that you know when we're dropping new content, new stream links, new post-game reactions when we get back in season, hopefully from outside by a tree, not inside on John's John, and the hardcore football history videos. So anything that we do, you can do them all right there. And if you're on Facebook, like, share, comment. If you're on X, re-X. I don't think we can call it retweet anymore. So just whatever the hell you do on X. I don't understand X. So that's the housekeeping. And thank you all.
No, that's not it. That's
Oh,
not it.
Okay.
There is another section to housekeeping.
Let's see. Yes. We've talked about it. We've referenced it, but it's a good reminder for you to buy John's books, including this one, Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. My recovery from the Widowmaker heart attack and the brain injury that came with it. I'm going to do it now. It's a perfect time.
No. This isn't even what I was talking about because we already I already checked it off the list.
I can't see your checklist. It is September 14th, 1979. My high school, Medicine Valley, is playing Republican Valley in football. It is a game we will lose 14-6 because of 2 blocked punts and our inability to punch the ball into the end zone. I especially want to win this game because I am a senior, because the girls in our class talked about how nice looking their quarterback is, because I hate Rep Valley for some reason I cannot define, and because it is the 5th anniversary of my father's death from pancreatic cancer. I am cranked, lit like a short fuse on a firecracker about to explode. That's the kind of stuff. That's what you get when you get Been Dead, Never Been to Europe by John Dam Johnston.
Riveting.
I could see it, and I think high school kids take it personally if high school boys will take it personally if the rival if the girls are talking, oh, that quarterback, he's very cute, because if I had football and if I was in a situation, I would probably want to make sure that the quarterback head was turned permanently around. Hearing my classmates say that, so there's a lot of truth to that. Go buy the book. Other things as well. Purchase the awesome T-shirts at cobbycorn.com. Yeah, that's right. You should get that merch going. And someday I'll get a shirt, but I bet you'll get yours faster if you buy it. I'm just waiting on John. I knew I wasn't keeping track, but someone is keeping track in the comments. And let's see here. I thought I had it here. Yep. Scott Schrader saying John now owes me $35 in a T-shirt.
Wow.
Scott, I appreciate you keeping notes on that. Keep running that tally up. We'll see if we can ever get the payday as it goes. So, anything else that I've lost under the realm of housekeeping?
Nope, that's it. Thank you. Now
Purchase
you can
the
take
awesome
more comments.
T-shirts, I say, as I gaze at the merch page long, like, that could be mine.
That would
one
be
day.
a nice T-shirt.
I bet you that'll look good on me, especially as I'm dropping LBs. That might fit me a little bit better. It's definitely not. I apologize, Charles. It's not John Van Dam Johnston. It's just John Dam Johnston. So
yeah. How many pounds are you down?
So this is crazy. So I actually, you're supposed to jump on the scale like in the morning, but I actually jumped on the scale after I had dinner, which was, by the way, a very nice ribeye, sweet potatoes, green beans, a salad, beer. And I'm still down about 14 pounds. So in the morning, I hope that there's more gone, less numbers on the scale. So
wow, impressive.
Read this one. You'll appreciate this one, Minnie.
Good work, Minnie. Add a way to keep. I'm on topic for 13 seconds. Wait, keep him on topic for 13 seconds. Yeah, you kind of lose focus. Like, Greg, it's okay.
Squirrel. But my wife used to always say, we'd be going down the road, and I'd honest to God, be having a conversation, and something would distract me. I'd change topics. She was like, squirrel. I'm concerned about this one, Charles. Charles says, jump on the scale to Pound Town, and I don't think that's what you're supposed to do to a scale. I don't
Oh, gosh. I don't even want to Okay.
Read that one, Minnie.
Moving. What?
Read that comment.
Josh Hansen says Mrs. Hooch tried to keep him on something for 13 seconds for anniversary and failed to. Zing.
That's a premature
That's for the
ejaculation.
weekend. That's for this weekend. Okay.
Maybe
Moving
give me
on.
some of that Blue Chew, right, guys? Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, and ships discreetly directly to your door. No awkward in-person doctor's appointments. You can do it all online.
Right. Are you wanting to like not go on to the next topic because it's
topic?
your topic?
Oh, I have no problem with this topic. Okay. I'm downright tickled with this topic, and I wish that this topic or I wish that this would have been around for years. So it was announced, and admittedly not terribly recently. I think I missed the boat on this one. It's been a couple weeks now, but there's going to be a new streaming service that's going to aggregate all of your sports streams, sporting events, and it's going to be called Venu or Venu Sports. It's a joint venture with Warner Brothers Discovery, Fox, and ESPN, and it's going to debut this fall. You would think right in time for college football season, or I guess regular football too, but for our purposes, college football. What I like about this is I have been holding on to my Spectrum cable for a number of years, despite the fact that I only really watch it to watch, or only use it for Husker sports and a Steelers game here and there. But that shit's expensive. And it doesn't help that I'm also paying for Disney, Hulu, ESPN Sport Bundle, Netflix, Prime Video, a lot of the like. If you had to total it all up, I'm probably paying over $300 a month for the things that I watch on television, and that's just got to go.
Well, you love TV. You love television.
No, I love movies. I don't like. It's such a weird thing to say because I've conditioned Garrett is my oldest, and even he knows. Like when we're watching the show and it has commercials or something like that, he's like, "Oh, commercials." Yeah, Josh says I pay for Max. I dropped Paramount a couple of months ago. Aaron Keene, I think it has hacked into your subscriptions, Minnie, because Aaron says that I think you just you subscribe to Netflix, Prime Video, and Dylan Hub.
Dylan Hub, is that a channel? Is that a streaming service?
Good luck.
I could produce this service.
Yeah,
but I won't.
I mean, you don't have any of that sideline footage you would have had if you were on the Chain Gang. So,
nope, darn it.
Fred says Dylan Hub or Dylan Rub.
Dylan Rub, as in.
Nope.
What?
Don't ask that question to him, especially Fred.
Why? I want to see him blush.
Fred said that got weird even for me. Josh, awfully close to felonies around here. He's not a minor, so there's not a felony anymore. It's just getting weird. Scott Schrader says, "Oh, Greg, you a Steelers fan? Heck yeah, Steelers Nation. I am. I was a Steelers fan before I was a Husker fan, but I do a Husker podcast, not a Steeler podcast. So I think the Husker fandom has eclipsed the Steelers." Fred also says, "I need to cut the cord on all that streaming." Like I said, I'll cut the Spectrum because
just do what Fred does. Just join chats. Twice a week. That's entertainment enough.
Cheap entertainment.
Yes. Good entertainment, though.
Yeah, I like to think, you get what you pay for.
I would rather, actually, to be honest, I would rather do that.
I'm more concerned. This might be the most alarming comment of the night by Jason Reeves. Jason Reeves says, close to a felony is not a felony.
That's right. That's absolutely right. That's what my dad always used to say. He would say, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So, there you go.
Is that why you were trying to get close to Dylan Raiola to give him a horseshoe and or a hand grenade?
No.
Okay.
I was not trying to get... I thought it would be fun. A fun activity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'll ever be able to explain this.
It's an obsession and probably not... probably not. I like how...
an obsession... Okay, take him... Seriously. It's an obsession with his arm. His 5-star arm. Okay, what?
Josh says horseshoes, hand grenades, slow dancing, and nuclear war.
Good one.
Oh, you know, that'd be a fun. I think Aaron's onto something here. Aaron Keene, by the way, says on tonight's episode of Stalker Talk, would you ever start a devoted to Dylan podcast called Stalker Talk?
No, I would start a devoted to any and all 5-star players that want to come to Nebraska. Yes, I will stalk any 5-star player that wants to come to Nebraska. Is that so wrong?
I mean, I feel bad for Dylan now. You're not
because why?
You're not hopelessly devoted to him anymore.
It's not Olivia Newton-John. No.
I'm glad that. See, I told you.
I knew it.
I've got an old soul. So, Fred. Oh, there you go. Fred says stock talk, and you could get the double entendre because corn huskers, corn stalks. I like it.
Oh.
And Josh says if her name is felony, getting close could actually be a felony. Let's see. Rostowski says not going to need any TV once College Football 25 comes out. And Melissa says that you admitted to the stalking. So here's the thing.
Melissa, she's always looking for that.
I don't think.
Me, remember, you and I, we're besties.
I don't think that's the case at all. I think that Melissa's on Team Greg on this one.
I know. I keep trying, though.
Mike, stop and behave yourself. She's a married woman.
Who?
You.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I let Minnie stalk me. Good. See?
Mike,
there's nothing wrong.
Are you by chance a 5-star recruit? All right.
All right, Greg.
You had questions regarding this topic that I don't have answers for. You had questions in the notes. They're like price and availability, all sports and levels and blah blah blah. And I just was like, "Ooh, hey, there's an option that I can dump my Spectrum."
So you're like, I'll probably get that, not even knowing how much it costs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's got to be cheaper than what I'm paying for cable to not use cable.
Okay.
I mean, if it's if it's $200 a month, no. But if it's $10 a month and it's just the sports, and I can guarantee that I can watch Nebraska football every Saturday, Nebraska men's basketball, volleyball. If I can watch Nebraska, if I can watch the Steelers and the occasional Cardinals and Blues game, I'm happy.
So what are you taking off the budget to put this on?
The cable that I'm paying $200 a month for.
So you're going to nix all that cable to get this one thing.
I don't watch the cable. Like the the boys are locked in on Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and a couple of like Disney Plus shows, like cartoons, Hot Wheels, Bat Wheels. I mean, they're locked into like the streaming stuff. We don't really watch the TV
I know.
or the cable. So
The cable, the TV.
you know what I mean, though. All right.
Okay. That's okay.
So,
Greg, I was
yes.
actually pretty impressed with the Husker Dominoes that you were talking about. I read that in the show title first, and I'm like, Husker Dominoes, what is he talking about? What could he be referring to?
I'd like to think that was pretty self-explanatory, but I understand.
Nope, it was not.
Okay,
and
cool.
then I connected all the dots. Actually, it was brilliant. And watch this. I told you I had a surprise for you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this already?
I did, but now they can't see us.
Damn it. Well, that was the point. I wanted them to check out my video. Guys, I thought that was good. Husker Dominoes.
I like it. I like the video. I like the idea. Let's refresh our viewers and listeners. If they're only listening to this, they're missing out on a lot. We love you. If you're just downloading this on your favorite podcast app on Friday or Saturday or whatever, we appreciate you greatly. We would also welcome you with open arms into our wonderful Thursday night family here on again YouTube, Facebook, and X. That X is especially for Rustovsky. No, but yeah, you mentioned that in January, we had talked about the men's basketball success and if that would lead to, like a little bit of momentum going in favor of some of these other men's sports, which, like realistically, volleyball's been carrying the load for Nebraska athletics, for the main ones. You talk about bowling and rifle and no offense to track and field. They've done successfully, wonderfully. Men's gymnastics, I think they were Big Ten champions as well. But they don't get a lot of press time from us at Coronation or here on the Five Heart podcast. They don't get a whole lot of television time. But volleyball and what John Cook has done, yes, we'll talk about John Cook as well later in the show, is really remarkable. Then we saw Keisei Tominaga, mass rank, CJ Wilcher, I know we're not supposed to mention his name, but Fred Hoiberg and his team really emerging and having such a Big Ten schedule and success and the run that they had. And yeah, of course, we wish that it would have gone one game longer.
It would have. Next year it will.
Right. But I think you posed the question, like, is that going to lead to other men's program successes? And we saw that with wrestling. Wrestling competed for a Big Ten team tournament or team championship in the toughest conference in collegiate wrestling, the Big Ten. When you talk about Penn State, you talk about Iowa. These are no pun intended. These are heavyweight programs. And then baseball, what we just saw with baseball this past weekend, winning the Big Ten championship, is success for Nebraska football. That next domino that's going to fall, and things are going to go our way. And when you look at Matt Rule's history and what he does with the program, especially in its first year to second year, when you look at the players, the roster that has been built, I don't see how there's not again a big jump. Haas Reuter has said famously, I'll say famously, if he said this is an 8 to 10 win team, and if they only win 8 games, he said he might be disappointed because they should start the season 7-0. That's a big jump. That's a completely different conversation than what we were having a couple of years ago.
Very, and I I really loved that you brought that up, what we talked about in January, because one of the reasons that I think that we're having such a domino effect is because of what has happened with the coaches. They've all gotten together. I mean, they're basically kind of talking to each other about what's working for them and what everyone's doing. And I think that's really important. And also the support. The football players going and watching basketball and wrestling and volleyball. That's so important. When you see winning and you're that close to it, it has kind of a residual effect, I think.
I love how all these programs are playing or they're supporting one another. I mean, Josiah Alec being there during volleyball. I know Matt Rule was around, for that, and some of the other football players, but them all being there for some of the Nebraska ball run. I don't know how many of them, because spring football kind of coincides with the baseball season, and so I don't know how many of them might have been in Omaha this past weekend for the Big Ten tournament. You'd like to think that a few of them have. I think Dylan was at some Nebraska baseball games last year. Minnie, I know you would know. You are pretty on the ball with his itinerary. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like this might be the most cohesive we've seen Nebraska athletics in some time.
It's true. I like this comment, winning by osmosis or something, by Charles Holt.
I'll tell you what, you can do a lot of things. I passed my CDL test by osmosis. I passed my insurance producer's test via osmosis, college biology and chemistry via osmosis. So, yeah, however it works.
However it works.
All right. What else do we have in that realm of?
Okay. Well, I just was so
Dominos.
excited about that. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about baseball. Woohoo! Baseball. We won the Big Ten championship.
In full disclosure.
Yeah.
If you want more on that baseball conversation, if you missed Monday Night Therapy with John and Rostovsky this past week, I encourage you to go back because Aaron was there in the press box all weekend long. He ate more hot dogs and drank more flat soda than anybody should ever have to endure in a weekend. But he'll be able to, their conversation will be much more learned than ours. I'm just excited that they're number 2 seed. They are going to the Stillwater, Oklahoma regional, and they're going to take on Florida for the first time in, I think, 20 years. So,
yeah. Good one. Did you watch the show on Monday night, Greg?
No.
Oh, too bad.
Yep.
You were mentioned a few times.
What did my fans say about me?
Your fans? Meaning me? Nothing. Not much.
Okay. I really thought that was going somewhere.
Well, Greg, you should watch on Monday nights. We have fun.
Yeah.
I know.
I like this comment by Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast. He's chilling in his home, and he'd be more than happy to get you into your next. His channel right here on YouTube, Living in Omaha, David Matney, says, I'm not a big Trev fan. I don't think at this point any of us are. But I think he put the right pieces in place. And I completely agree from, he definitely left the program better than he inherited it, which is, that's the most Captain Obvious comment of the night. And it's unfortunate that, well, I guess with the benefit of hindsight, maybe it's not as unfortunate anymore.
I think you give credit where credit is due. He absolutely got us on the right path.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I interrupt?
A little bit.
Go ahead.
No, you took my rambling and you made it much more concise. So thank you.
I do that. I just kind of condense things in notes, especially.
All right, let's see.
Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we talk about what's going on this weekend? Starting tomorrow? The double elimination at O'Brate Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
It's actually pronounced Obrate.
Obrate?
Yeah. And we're going to ask respectfully that you pronounce it like that for the rest of the evening.
No. I'm not even going to pronounce it ever again.
Fine.
Okay, fine. Be that way. Listen.
It's your show anyway. I'm just here to drink beer.
Listen. Tomorrow we play, as you said, Florida at 2:00. Then at 6, Oklahoma State plays Niagara. Then the next day, the loser plays the loser of the games before, and then so you know how it works. We go all the way to
double elimination tournament.
Possibly Monday, but I don't think we're gonna have to go that far. I think we will be in Game 6, so everybody tune in to Game 6 because the Huskers will be playing winner versus winner of Game 4 and Game 5 at 6 p.m. on Sunday.
Yep.
That's our road to Omaha. Aha.
I like it.
Okay, good.
I appreciate Charles' comment here. Is our strategy to lose the first game only if we're going to get mercy ruled and then win out the rest of the season? If we could do that, I'll take a first game loss if Nebraska wins every other game, the rest of the tournament, the rest of the regional, the College World Series, wins the whole damn thing. That's the only acceptable loss tomorrow. So.
Someone's dog is tap dancing.
That's my dog. My dog needs to
What's
go.
Your dog? What's your doggy's name?
I don't know about Doggy, but her name is Coco, or as the twins call her at nighttime prayers. They got to pray for puppy Coco. And Coco's over 13 years old, and Coco needs to go to the groomer. So
Coco.
It's on the to-do list, MK. I'll try to work it around the wedding and everything else I got going on this weekend. Justin says, Stillwater, you come for the baseball, you leave the second you can. Let's see here. Oh, Aaron says, I was thinking something similar, but I actually practiced restraint for once. And Fred says, we're an hour and 10 in, restraint is out the window. Now I got to look and see what they're talking about. Oh, I see it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Didn't take much scrolling up to know exactly what you were talking about. I appreciate the humor. Ha, ha, ha. And I get mine, again, shipped to me discreetly via Bluetooth. So just can't use Bluetooth.
Okay. So the question is, does all of this success that Nebraska has had, does it set up Husker football in 2024-25 season to go to a bowl game?
Well, that's what Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, wants to know. He says, at this point in the offseason, what are the odds of going to a bowl game this year? I will say, I'm perennially optimistic anyway, but 100%. There is no way Nebraska doesn't go to a bowl game in 2024.
Wow. There is a way. I'm not going to.
Okay. No, go ahead. Verbalize it, Miss Pessimist.
No.
No. Give breath to your thought. Give breath to your thought. Let's start the debate. Say it.
I just think that you can't go around saying things like that.
I'm the dipshit who said we were going to go 15-0 last year. That's what I do. It's my shtick.
I don't get that excited until after we've won a couple games. Then I'm like, oh yeah, we can do this.
Let's see. Charles says 50-50. Jason says bowl game is a given. I like Charles. He says 50-50. He says we will or we won't. That's definitely true. Those are the options. Justin says 98.9%. Fred says, what success specifically? Recruiting a year under the staff, many not getting on the chain gang. I missed that comment.
Success.
Let's see. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says 85% chance of rain. I mean, going to a bowl game. And Fred says, wow, many turning into me. Need to see some wins first.
We've been hurt. We've been hurt, and it shows.
Aaron Keene asks, when does optimism cross over to delusion? Where is my list?
Question.
Where is my list from last year that has the 15-0 prediction?
Okay, no. Here's the thing that I have to say about last year. Can I just say something?
You better.
Last year, I feel like, given what our opponents were, what we were playing against, we should have done so much better. Nobody was really that great, except for Michigan. Nobody across the board.
No, I'm responding quietly, reacting quietly to something.
No, you don't actually do any. You don't do anything quietly. And you make a lot of hand motions over there, and you cause a lot of attention to yourself.
It is my show. If you're not comfortable with that.
I know. You remind me every week. I'm just a panelist, apparently.
I called you co-host tonight.
Hey,
I called you a co-host tonight.
And I could mute you if I needed to. But I would never, not that I would ever, unlike you have done that to me. And you change my name all the time.
Mm-hmm. I'll do it again. Just watch me. Aaron Keene says, Fred says to Aaron, every year Greg thinks we're going undefeated. Why not? There will never be a time where I'll say, I'll never have the mental clarity to say, no, I don't think Nebraska's going to win this week. I'll never do that.
Okay. I don't think so either.
I was baptized in pain in Nebraska football back in 2006. All I know is heartache. I can only go up. And I will always say Nebraska will win.
Me too. You and me both.
Yeah, but you're like, no, I got to see some wins first. I think we're going to do it.
No, I'm not going to sit here and say, because I need to see what our opponents are like.
I don't give a shit about our opponents. Handle what you can handle. Take care of yourself. If you're telling me that you don't have enough confidence that Matt Rule and his staff have put together a squad that can go out and compete with any team in the country,
it's a game. It is a game. So you have to look at what your opponents are capable of and who's playing. And I just want to say this comment from Fred Sacco. Many calling Greg a closet Italian. His last name is Mahachko.
That's not Italian. I got news for you.
What is it?
Slovakian. Thanks for mislabeling my nationality.
That's Slovakian? Mahachko?
Well, it wasn't spelled like that when my ancestors came over. It got Americanized at Ellis Island like everybody else.
You're a closet Slovakian.
I'm not a closet Slovakian. I'm a proud ancestor of my father's 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 father.
Nice.
My oldest son has the same initials as I do. I have the same initials as my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather. We don't do juniors. Like he's not named. He's not Gregory, Junior, but I call him Junior. we have the same initials, and it's gone back for generations. So
that sounds very Italian. Just so you know.
the fuck.
What?
Hold on, I'm gonna change my damn name. Keep going. Keep talking.
Okay, I'm gonna discuss this comment here from Melissa, my BFF. I'm gonna say it in the way that I think a BFF would say it to another BFF. Come on, Minnie. You have to expect them to run over teams.
That's not how Melissa sounds at all. I have good authority. I've never spoken, and heard Melissa's voice, but that is not how she does not sound like Minnie Mouse. I'm sorry. Hi, pal.
That's how my BFF would sound, okay? In my mind. my football BFF would sound just like that. Okay? And yes, when you say it like that, Melissa, I do think that. I expect them to run over teams.
But only if the other team's not playing so and so and so and so. Because you gotta see what the other team's doing.
Yeah, because I love getting into all that nitty gritty stuff.
Minnie's gonna be like, "We're gonna go 4-8 next year. Sorry, kids." when we do our preseason before the UTEP game predictions, and I'm over here going like, "No, we're gonna win that game. We're gonna win that game."
I will.
There will come a point. No, stop. I'm gonna cut you off right now. There will come a point in that episode in August, because it happens to everybody every year we do this, where somebody has a point of rational clarity of like, yeah, no, I think so and so is going to win that game. And this year, whether it's Ohio State or USC or whomever, and you know what Greg does every year? We win. It becomes a thing to where by the 7th or 8th game of the season, people are like, no, Greg's going to say win, and John laughs about it every year. He reacts.
I love it.
I never waver. I won't waver now. I won't waver then.
I get that excited as well, but that's only because I like to tear apart what our other teams have going on. I like to look for the holes and just dig at it. That's what I like to do. We'll get there.
All right.
Next.
I'm a little too fired up for 20 after 10 and all the beer I've had today. Okay. Great question from Sam Matney. Sam, are you still there? Let me know. Living in Omaha, David Matney, let me know if Sam's still here with us. Sam said 40 minutes ago, "Hello, Greg." I like that Sam ignores you. That's why, Sam's like my third favorite Matney. Why are we replacing Thunderstruck? We're not. First of all, we have no control. We can't.
Great question.
I don't even know how.
Sam Matney. Actually, you know what? I take this question as Sam is my other BFF, and he's like, "Hey, Greg, why are we replacing Thunderstruck? What's wrong with you?"
I don't have a problem with Thunderstruck. I love Thunderstruck. I learned just last week that Thunderstruck was released in 1990. We were talking about that last week. I thought that song came out much earlier than that. Jason Reeves with a great response here says, "We're going to supplement Thunderstruck. No jukebox should have only one song." Fred says, "Minnie wants to replace it with Careless Whisper or I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt." I have no problem with Thunderstruck. I have thoughts on some songs that would work equally well in that moment that may be just a little bit newer. And in fact, I I'm sorry. Somebody said, and they were right. Apparently, Mahachko is Slovakian for has to Google things in the middle of the show.
The guy who Googles.
Thank you. So one song is "Honest to God," only 7 years.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, whoops. What the heck happened? Oh, there it is.
What did you do? We're not living in Omaha. David Matney, the official realtor of the 5-Heart Podcast.
Yeah,
we're not replacing. I think you're.
Why are we replacing Thunderstruck?
We're not. We're just. I don't even know how this topic came up. I think it was just looking for other songs that might also serve the purpose, right? Because what was it? What was it a few years ago? I can't remember. It was like a hip hop song. It was like an older hip hop song. Something about let me clear my throat. You know, that was there a few years back. Personally, I love Thunderstruck. I love the buildup of Thunderstruck. I love the crescendo in Thunderstruck.
Na, 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 na.
Well, yeah, if you're tone deaf. That's what it sounds like if you're tone deaf.
Can you read this?
Fred says, we should replace it depending on the team. If Penn State, hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. If Northwestern, car wash, etc. I kind of low-key love that. I love that idea of having
play with their head. Yes. Get in their heads a little bit. Use the song to our advantage.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5-Heart Podcast, says, wait, this is not official? This is a mini topic? I love that. I love that. Just a little hint of shade.
No, this is actually the official format. It's section 6. Okay. But that's the only thing I have on section 6 is AC/DC Thunderstruck.
Josh says, ooh, what would Colorado be? I mean, it'd have to be Afro Man because I got high, right?
I mean,
because it's legal in Colorado.
Oh. The only thing I think of in Colorado is John Denver.
Or Joe Walsh, Rocky Mountain Way, or Rocky Mountain High. No, Rocky Mountain Way is Joe Walsh. Rocky Mountain High is John Denver. I know what I'm talking about.
You definitely sound like it.
Wow. Thanks, Minnie.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right, so I have a couple of ideas. This particular primetime nighttime kill the lights tradition has not been around too terribly long. So I don't necessarily think it needs a new coat of paint. But if it's, who even gets to decide this? Is it a Matt Rule thing? Is it a team thing? I don't know. But
we get to decide it.
I don't.
Let's just pretend. Let's just say, okay.
Hold on.
The 5-Heart Podcast gets to decide.
I was trying to think of a song that would work, and Fred for Colorado. And Fred says Zach Brown Band has a song titled Toes, I think. All right. So one song that I have, and the only thing, we're on YouTube and we're live, so we can't play clips. But I think the two songs that I know or not, I know a lot of songs, but the two songs that come to mind immediately for this, for me, the first one is from 1997. It's by one of the biggest and I think most well-beloved bands. I don't want to say of all time, but they have such equity with the community, with the fan base, such goodwill that it would take a lot to pull this band down from the pedestal that they're up on. The band is Foo Fighters, and the song is Everlong. And I wish I could play the clip right here, but I can't because YouTube will kick us off. So
even if it has even if you have it playing in the background.
Yeah, this is a TikTok. Like, you got it. Plus, I don't have the song queued up. I ran out of time. Had to fix my lawnmower today.
This
That's a whole nother
actually really doesn't work very well unless I hear the song.
Why? You don't know Foo Fighters Everlong?
I can't think of what it sounds like. Can you sing a couple of bars for me?
I think now you're just trying to embarrass me.
I am not. No, seriously. I have a really hard time
see.
remembering songs.
I mean, I'm not Dave Grohl, so it's not going to be.
Okay, just pretend. Pretend you're in the shower and you're singing this song.
Don't.
We're not here. We're not listening.
Don't think about me in the shower. That's weird.
Fully clothed. I mean, okay.
I don't shower fully clothed. That's also weird.
Right.
All right. Aaron Restowski says Everlong is my favorite song, but too slow. First of all, I love a build up in a song. I like something that it's why I like Serious by Alan Parsons Project. It starts a little and then it hits. I'm not. I'll link it to you later. I'm not going to sing.
Well, sorry. I mean, you don't have to link it to me. I'm pretty sure I know how to look up a song.
Google it right now. You're not allowed to Google. What are we talking about? Yeah, I'm not going
to sing. What was your other choice? Maybe I know this song.
My other choice is going to be from a wildly popular band that also is widely criticized and disliked. Like they made a lot of money. They had a bunch of chart-topping hits, but they were also like,
Nickelback.
Yeah, Nickelback.
Yeah.
Okay, you sound like you're not too terribly interested in hearing this one.
Because I kind of knew where you were going. Okay, sorry.
All right. But the song is "Burn It to the Ground." It's a hard charging like arena anthem. Hits. I mean, it got a good beat. It's fast paced for the people, for the Chatterfields here tonight who think that Everlong is a little too slow. Man, I'll tell you what, they're like Guy Fieri. You can say what you want about them. They made a lot of money. So those are a couple that I've come up with. And look, given time, I can come up with better ones.
You had like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I had 2 weeks, but I also have other things going on in my life.
But you also have this endless knowledge of amazing songs from your radio days. So
you're right.
I expect a lot from you, Greg. On
more than 2 songs.
Yeah. I bet if I were to ask the Chatterfields what songs they would recommend, everyone would be like, well, why would we change it? Number 1, which they did. Number 2, they would probably be able to give me some really good songs. See?
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, sounds like the song of the Scott Frost era, Burn It to the Ground. Jason Reeves says, you've had a friggin' lifetime to learn better music, Puddin'. I feel like that's a shot at me. So let's see. What did we got here?
I just read Fred's comment.
Yeah, I did too. I see. I don't dislike Journey, Mr. Matney. I don't dislike that song. I don't think that's hard charging enough to pump. Like, it's a great sing along song, but it's not like I need something that's got to get people up off their feet, And Jump Around's already taken by Wisconsin. We can't follow them. Let's see. Let's see if we're missing anything here. I like Paint It Black. Eminence Front by The Who's, good one. Let's see here. Josh says Everlong, maybe too mellow. Foo has lots of options though. And again, I like Thunderstruck. I'm not knocking Thunderstruck. I'm just saying if AC/DC's label came out or AC/DC themselves says, "Hey, you got to 86 that song. We're Iowa fans." They're not. They wouldn't be that stupid.
Oh God, no.
You know what I mean, though. If they said, "Hey, no, you can't use that song anymore," what if we had a week to find an alternative? Look, I don't know.
Here's what I would want. Here's my criteria for this song. Yes, it needs to be a hype song.
I got you.
It needs to be a song that you're almost embarrassed to listen to with your grandma or your mom. Yeah. It needs to be a song that kind of crazy. Yeah. Like that.
Well, I got one of those songs. It's from a band. They're kind of back too, kind of like my boys at Revis. And they're also from Illinois, but they're up in Peoria. They hit the scene. See, I saw them live in 2003. Honest to God, I saw them live 9 days before 9/11. I saw them on September 2nd of 2001. When I said 2003, I meant 2001. I'm dumb. So they've been around a while. There's a little band called Mudvayne. Probably is not a band that you've
doesn't ring
familiar with.
Doesn't ring a bell.
And their song "Dig," which was their their debut track, says, I would love to beat the face of every motherfucker that's thinking they can change me.
Oh.
And that much more.
That's what I mean.
Something like that. Type of.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you saw this comment that I have highlighted here.
No. I didn't.
Are you going to read it?
Thank you for showing it to me.
Are you going to read it? I'll read it. Aaron Keene says, has Minnie suggested ZZ Top's Tush for when Dylan runs onto the field yet? There's got to be some good stalker songs out there.
Funny, guys.
Let's see here. Charles Hela says, Ludacris says, move, bitch, get out the way.
Yeah, Ludacris could be good.
I also thought
I don't know if everybody really likes Ludacris, though.
Well, you're not going to make everybody happy. The day you try to make everybody happy is the day you're going to fail. Josh says, before I forget, by Slipknot for any game except Iowa, because, of course, Slipknot's from Iowa. That's a good one, too. Let's see here. And Josh, oh, sorry. I think yeah, look, you got to just let me handle the comments. Come on now.
Why? Because that's your domain? Because it's your show?
Well, to eliminate conversations like this where we're both trying to click at the same time. Josh says, we call them badonks in these parts. Yeah, I think we could ZZ Top to rewrite that song for Nebraska game day, or at least for Todd. That's a good one. Let's see. All right, where are we at here? Anything? We'll come back. John will be here eventually again. We'll talk more music.
John will have some good songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna look into some alternative songs.
Yeah, like what's your go-to? What's your go-to type of music? I feel like you're like Whitney Houston.
Oh, that's what you think? That's what you think about me. That's what I portray.
There's nothing wrong with Whitney Houston.
Oh my gosh.
There's nothing wrong with Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston slaps, I'm saying. She's got a tremendous voice. Rip Whitney Houston. I'm just saying.
There's
ABBA?
absolutely nothing wrong
ABBA?
with
Like
Whitney Houston.
I feel like, well, I'm not going to say that out loud. Okay, so what's Minnie's go-to like clean the house music? You know what I mean? Like when you're like, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I put on my playlist that's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I love all kinds of music. I do not discriminate. Not even against Whitney Houston. So I like it all. Truly, I do.
All right. I can't say I love it.
Okay. If I'm going to listen to country, it has to be old generally. If I'm going to listen to, disco.
Shit, Aaron.
What?
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says Whitney could sing before the drugs.
That's what I was kind of thinking,
And
too.
Ristovsky says she could also breathe before the drugs. And, dude, that's dark. Like, that took a turn. Holy shit. Like, I'd expect that from Fred. Wow. Okay. Give me 5 songs that are on your playlist.
Okay. I can't even think right now. Well, can I look at my playlist?
No, that's too close
Please,
to Googling.
Come on. Do you know, guys, already, what time is it? This is my bedtime. I have an alarm that goes off at this time every night for me that reminds me you should be in bed by now. Okay.
Except on Thursday nights.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I said. Okay. So I have David Allan Coe. I have George Jones. I have a lot of country.
What George Jones?
I have Foreigner. I have Poison, Quiet Riot, Ozzy Osbourne, Simple Minds, Soft Cell, the Mamas and the Papas. Like, I'm all over the place. This is Simon and Garfunkel even. Stevie
What's Simon
Nicks,
and
of
Garfunkel
course.
song?
I like The Sound of Silence.
Have you heard the Disturbed cover?
That is. What's the Disturbed cover?
We have to talk. Disturbed is a band. They're like a rock neo-metal band that's been around for 20 plus years. And they did a tremendous cover of Sound of Silence a few years ago. Actually brought that song like very much back into the mainstream. So,
ooh, Duran Duran, 4 Non-Blondes. Like, I'm all over. Just Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift. I like it all. I don't know.
Not account for taste on the last one. I don't know.
Well, I have a daughter who's obsessed. She's a Swiftie, so by association, it makes me a Swiftie.
I'm so sorry for you.
It's okay.
I got one more image to show you. We have a few other quick topics we got to hit as well. The first one being we mentioned John Cook earlier in the show and all that he has done for this program for the sport of women's volleyball. And because of that, he earned himself a nice contract extension. You're going to tell us a little bit about that.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Coach Cook, his contract got extended. I didn't know I was doing this, but I'm happy to.
All you put is Coach Cook contract extension and horse number 415. So
because this is so freaking good.
I don't know any of the details.
You gotta know this. Okay. This is what he said, Coach Cook. He said, I'm very grateful to Troy and our administration for their support and confidence in our Husker volleyball program. When Troy and I talked about my contract, I proposed that instead of an annual escalating salary, that some coaches do, it would mean a great deal to me if the Nebraska Athletic Department would consider supporting me in purchasing a horse out in central Nebraska that I've had my eye on. The horse, called Number 15, was born and bred at the famous Pitzer Ranch in Erickson and is a once-in-a-lifetime performance horse. He was purchased as a weanling by Mark Ray and then trained by the Ray family. Troy loved the idea, and while they couldn't specifically write that into my contract, the retention bonus will be used for number 415. I am honored that Troy was supportive of my idea, and it means a lot to me. We are looking forward to what should be an exciting 2024 season. Okay, this is my all-time favorite thing I think I've ever heard from a coach. He's so obsessed with horses that he is bringing it into the fold here. No pun intended. The fold of Nebraska athletics. Like, everybody, let's all embrace this. It's great. That's entertainment. That's what I love.
That is wholesome as can be. You know, we're proud to have John Cook continuing carrying the banner for women's athletics, for volleyball, for the state, and for the number of years. So thank you, Mr. Cook, for all that you do. We have...
Get the man a horse.
Get that man a horse. All right, so we have Section 7, Article B, the homecoming. Kamenzind homecoming? I don't know. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce it either.
Cool.
It's a weird last name.
Husker softball.
It sounds Slovakian to me.
Now you're just going to say everything sounds Slovakian.
Well, I mean, your last name is a little hard to spell out. I don't know.
Everybody I talk to says, you know, when they see it in writing, they're like, how do you pronounce that? And I say, how do you pronounce that? And then, you know, they guess. And if they hear it, they're like, how do you spell that? And when I hand them my business card, they look at the card and they hear it again. Like, oh, it sounds exactly like it's spelled. I'm like, I know, it's not that difficult, people.
That's probably the same thing with their last name. Okay, Kamenzind.
I'm going to say Kamenzind.
Kamenzind.
So Hannah and Lauren transfer in with 2 years left of eligibility to Nebraska softball.
Yeah, which is a big deal because they are actually Nebraska, from Nebraska.
Well, of course they are. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
They're coming from Arkansas. Right, of course.
And there's one from Arkansas and one from another place.
They are originally from Omaha Skutt. And let's see here. Nope, that's later. They went off to Arkansas for the first 2 seasons of their college careers, and now they're coming back. They both went to Arkansas, and they both came back. It's like I said that, and then you want to argue. You always want to argue.
I read something else. Why in the world?
What?
There's an H in your last name, Aaron Keene, that does not belong there.
Aaron, just remember, when you're choosing your favorite 5-heart personality, one of us.
Oh, are we gonna have an award show?
We might.
Wait, what?
And you know what? I'm gonna win. You're gonna get a participation trophy, and it's gonna be like the Dundies, and I'm gonna clear up all the trophies are gonna be coming home with me. But Aaron, just remember, I knew, without knowing, I knew. And somebody's like, "Is it Cane? Are we getting some chicken tenders at Raising Cane's?" No, it's not Cane's. It's Keen. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. We all know that now.
Yeah, you're welcome. I got it right.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go on to letter C, something else that just popped up earlier this evening. I didn't have a chance to. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says we need an award show. And Fred says, shit, so now Greg is double standarding Minnie. Awards for thee, but not for Fred. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't say Fred wouldn't get one. All right. So I saw this earlier. I wanted to acknowledge because this is definitely someone with very severe Nebraska ties. And let's give the man the credit that he is owed. And that would be our one-time coach, Mr. Frank Solich, who is going into the MAC Conference Hall of Fame. He's a 2024 inductee. He is the winningest coach in MAC history. So we congratulate him as well.
That doesn't have anything to do with Nebraska.
I mean, Frank Solich.
It's kind of like your double standard. No, what did you say to me when I asked you define a Husker? And you said, well, if they transfer out, forget it.
He got fired. It's a little different. He was an assistant under Tom Osborne for years, was the chosen heir, hand-picked heir by Tom Osborne, right or wrong, and we could litigate that all damn day. But he was the successor to Tom Osborne. He was the last coach for Nebraska to have a conference championship or a Heisman Trophy winner. And he was let go. He went down a division to the MAC, from Power 5 to Group of 5. And he became the conference's winningest football coach.
So that's
and you're going to sit. You're going to sit there and shit on Frank Solich.
No, I am not. What I'm trying to say is, how does this award that he's given has nothing to do with Nebraska? If he was wearing a Nebraska shirt, I would have let it slide tonight.
Where do you think he learned how to coach? Like, who do you think was his mentor?
Very true. Very true. Excellent point, Greg.
Fred says it's not working, Greg. Husker football didn't exist before Dylan Raiola was born.
Greg.
So, congratulations, Frank. One of us appreciates you, and the other one is me.
I do too. But I just...
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Yeah, and I also remember David Matney was wrong before when he said that we needed a
back up.
What?
All right. I've never known Living in Omaha David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, to be wrong. How dare you?
He's never been wrong, ever.
Not on this show. I don't know what he does outside of these 2 hours every week.
Okay.
I know he just helps get people into their homes.
He's just a helpful guy.
Jason Reeves says, no, Matney's never been wrong. Fred says, David Matney, get your pitchforks. And Melissa agrees with me again.
Melissa!
I'm telling you.
No, actually, here's how she's saying it. I agree with Greg.
This is what happens when you promote yourself out of the Chatterfields. You have to endure all the hate.
Apparently.
So they're all on my side.
I've been here, guys. I've been here for like 6 months already.
Justin says in all of David's 53 years, he's never been wrong.
Guys, I'm not going to say what he was wrong about because I don't want you guys turning on him. But he has been wrong.
turning on him, or are you afraid they're going to turn more on you?
I can take it.
You
I'm
are
worried
fighting an
about
uphill
David.
battle.
I'm worried about him. I don't want him to have to stress about it.
He went living in Omaha. David Manny, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, is curious. Says, "I want to hear this. What was I wrong about?"
He even admitted it last week.
Nobody remembers except you. I drink every week during the show.
Then that's it. You just have to go back and rewatch the show.
The Chatterfields are closing ranks or circling the wagons. What is this error that you claim?
It's him. What?
No, go ahead. Mine was going to be silly, earlier than usual.
No, honestly, it's okay. We can move on.
In regards to Frank Solich, Melissa says, "Sorry, Minnie, the locker room is named after him." There you go. There's your Nebraska connection.
Melissa.
Jason says the new Not John has a funny voice.
Hey, is that me?
It's not me. I've never not been John. I've always been.
Yes, you have. Been me. Yes, you have. I've actually seen that on your title.
That's fair. Fred Sacco says, "Oh shit, Minnie lit a fire under one of the fighting matinees." And I appreciate that. Being an irrational fan living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, "I was wrong about that. I'm an irrational fan."
Oh, he knew what I was referring to.
All right.
See? And I remember this. I'm not like calling you out by telling everyone else what you were wrong about.
You have to remember. Maybe you don't have to remember. Maybe you don't know. Haas knows. As soon as the show is done, it is in my rear view. I have forgotten. I'm a clean slate.
Oh, I'm quite aware of that.
Painfully aware. All right. All right. So let's finish up on something we can all be positive about. Malachi Coleman is celebrating, or was celebrating today, May 30th, Give to Lincoln Day. We can't really encourage people to stop in at Muchachos because unless Muchachos is open at 11 at night. But tell us what happened. Malachi's doing it right. You know, a big fan of that kid on and off the field. So,
yeah. Well, at Muchachos, he has the Giverito.
I don't know that. I've never been to Muchachos.
Well, Greg,
have you ever been to Muchachos?
Why would I eat Mexican food when I'm from Arizona, in Lincoln, when I'm from Arizona? Like, that makes no sense.
Now, hold on. Time out. Are you saying that there
cannot be a better Mexican food restaurant in Lincoln, Nebraska than there is right out my front door?
So, are you saying that the city of Lincoln does not allow Mexicans?
No, I'm not. Don't put words in my mouth. No, what I'm saying is there's absolutely no way that they have better Mexican food.
I'm not saying it. I'm just.
I'm okay with that.
Now Minnie's Mexican food shaming. The next shirt at cobbycorn.com is going to have to be. It's going to have to integrate some form of Minnie's shaming. Be it fat people or Mexican food or names or whatever it might be. Probably something like, "I too have been shamed by Minnie." Something simple. It doesn't even have to get it into why.
Oh my gosh.
No. It's ridiculous, the level of hate that you have in your heart. That last part, I apologize.
It's true.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. Restovsky says Muchachos would clean up between the hours of 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. So, but tell us more about what Malachi Coleman was doing at Muchachos.
He was at how do you say it?
Muchachos.
Muchachos.
Yeah, not Mahachos. which is Slovakian, muchachos, which is in Espanol.
Okay. Muchachos. He was there today, and because they were doubling the donation of the
Apologize to all
Giveritos.
of you Spanish-speaking individuals in the crowd right now. That was hard to hear for me. I'm a gringo, and that was tough for
He
me.
was signing books, and it was really a beautiful sight.
Okay. I really thought that there would be more to that.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, so I'm like, how can I get involved?
Fly like Kai.
Because I love this kid. I love what he is trying to do. So I actually got
Who
on
do
there.
you love more, Malachi or Dylan? The people want to
Well,
know.
like I said, Malachi, he was our first big star that Matt Rule got. And he's also number 15. We all expected huge things from Malachi. I still do. But
Aaron Keene says Lincoln can't have better Mexican food than Arizona. Lady who can't say muchachos. Thank you, Aaron.
Muchachos is not Mexican. It's not even a Mexican word. Spanish word, I mean. It's not muchachos?
It is.
No.
Is it? It's an informal term of address, especially to a young man. It would be like you say "Hola, muchacho." It would be like somebody saying.
That sounds very gringo. That sounds very gringo. Like we make fun of people down here in Arizona that try and talk like that.
Well, I'm lacking melanin, but it would be, according to Google. Yes, I Googled. It would be no different than be like, "Hey, dude."
Okay.
Are you going to argue with the internet? You start arguing with the internet, the internet will come at you.
Absolutely not.
The internet will come at you.
Absolutely not. In Arizona, down here in Arizona, Stan? Really? No. Arizona, Stan. Wow. Fred.
Stavsky says it's most definitely a Spanish word.
Yeah, because you know so much Spanish, I'm sure.
Did you take El Español in high school?
Señor.
All right. Mucho bueno. I took 2 years in high school. And I don't remember much. Speaking of, we mentioned my dad earlier, and what a great man he is, my hero by far. I took 2 years of Spanish. I could have been taking shop, but I was told I had to take 2 years of Spanish by my mom, who I also love. But I don't remember much about my 2 years of Spanish. What I remember about Spanish is stuff that my dad taught me. He's like, not that he's ever advocating that I would go, but he's like, if you ever go, say, all you got to know in Spanish is dos cervezas, por favor, and donde está el baño?
I knew you were going to say that. That's what every gringo says.
I'm sorry?
Usually, though, they say it like this. Donde está el baño?
Well, I actually took the Espanol, so I know about the tilde. So I know about baño.
Yes. Mucho gusto. Can we just... Okay. We can actually finish the show just speaking Spanglish.
No, we can't. I refuse. Yes, we're very proud of Malachi Coleman. Great guy, great heart. Possibly 5 heart. Definitely 4. Definitely 4 heart.
How could you say that? 5 heart. Easily. All of his proceeds, every dime he makes in NIL goes to foster care. That's huge. He's not pocketing the money. He's not buying cars. He's not buying things. He's giving the money away. That's 5 hearts.
I have a bone to pick. Not that I'm not listening to you.
Okay.
Totally not
Okay.
listening to you.
I know
Jason,
you don't. I'm surprised
Jason,
you weren't cleaning your glasses.
I don't have my cleaning glasses wiper down here with me tonight. Jason Reeves wants to discredit me and say it's not a tilde, it's a schwa. Now, with the benefit of Google, I was able to verify tilde is an accent placed over a Spanish N when pronounced nya, as in senor, or Portuguese, which we're not, no offense to the Portuguese. It's just not the language we're speaking. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, Jason Reeves, and say that it is a tilde.
Oh, no. The tilde goes after the E, he says.
According to Google, tilde is an accent placed over Spanish N when pronounced NY sound, nia, as in senor.
Greg, here's the deal. I'm going to trust people that live in southern states over you.
Wait, read that comment. Read that comment.
Jason, I had your back. We could have seen this through. You and I. He already admitted defeat.
You know what? Just for that, I almost don't want to show you this image that I had artificially engineered just for your benefit.
Oh my gosh, what did you do?
So some of the comments said that we have been upping our thumbnails recently. I'm trying with the help of John, who's given me access to Chat GPT. I don't dabble a whole lot in AI, but I have been enjoying some of the images that I've been able to create. Like our for the thumbnail for tonight's show was, I think I put in Nebraska Cornhuskers, 5-heart, Thunderstruck. And so it got a really nice image. So earlier in the show, I typed into Chat GPT while we were recording. It's different. It's not Googling. It's AIing. I think it's okay. I don't think I'll be kicked off my own show for that. Image of Dylan Raiola celebrating a Nebraska Cornhusker touchdown.
Let's see it.
All right. Here it is.
Why is he number 2?
I don't think Chat GPT cares what number he is. Would you want to make any other complaints about it? I just thought you'd appreciate the gesture.
It's cute. It's cute other than the number.
Well, note to self. Don't try to do anything nice on the show anymore.
I appreciate it.
Sit here and drink my beer and be grumpy ass Greg.
Greg, this is very sweet. Thank you.
Do you catch this reference, Minnie? Are you up to speed on this one?
Yes.
An old OG Austin Powers reference. Who does number 2 work for? That's great. MK says, and he plays for Northeast Asia, which is something that Aaron Keene also caught up on. We do the best we can with the tools we have. So, all right.
It's cute.
Thank you. I don't think we had. Oh, a couple comments real quick. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5-Heart podcast, says, has anyone heard the guys over Big Red Rant do their live streams during the game? No.
I haven't heard that.
Core Nation is the only Nebraska site I'm aware of. I don't think any others exist.
There is not even one.
No others exist.
True. This time Greg wins.
I win all the time. I don't think you realize this is my show. And we talked about how I go ahead. Oh no, Minnie, you were going to say something.
Actually, I had a thought, and then better that I don't say it.
Probably for the best. And then following up on how I said, by the time when I hit end stream or end record, the show's, out of mind, clean slate. And Fred says, shit, Greg is a clean slate before, during, and after the show. It's the format free forever. Solidarity, my brother. Appreciate that one. Let's see. Fred says Minnie is the new not John. Had a thought, lost it.
Well, what I was going to say is I could have my own show too. And then I thought, no, that's too scary of a thought. Never mind, because then you would make me go and do something like that. Be like, yeah, Minnie, go for it.
I did have an idea. It wouldn't.
Oh, no.
It didn't. No, you're safe right now. This predates your association with Coronation. But we have Jill, we have Bree, Beth, and I thought like a Women of Coronation show. We're always talking about DEI and including. Like let them have their or your voices, but they like we're too busy. We can't do that. So
yeah, girls have stuff to do. It's amazing that I make time for this.
Yeah, thank you for sacrificing all that you have going on to sit here and belittle me for 2 hours.
I'd be here anyways.
I know you will not pass up an opportunity to belittle me and make me feel like shit. So shame me, and whether it's name shaming or
wait a second.
Shaming or
last I checked, you gathered all the Chatterfields up against me. Little old me.
I didn't. They saw that their leader was being victimized, and they rallied to my side. That's what friends do. We don't stand for bullies in the 5 Heart Podcast, Minnie.
And now I'm a bully.
I couldn't keep that one up. I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm so mean. I know.
Yeah, see, I didn't do it. I didn't rally them. It was automatic. Thank you, Jason Reeves. And Jason, who is, by the way, not totally been on my side tonight, but he knows when the trumpet horn sounds. I must get there. That's right. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says Chatterfield Unite.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I actually have one person that says that they'll help me, but Greg won't click on that comment.
I don't
because
know.
He wants to run the comments too. That one.
Oh. Fred, you can't look.
He said it.
Fred, you're flip-flopping more than our former HCSF. You can't do that.
I like that. Thank you, Fred. He says he'll be on my show. I'm not. No, that was a joke. I shouldn't have said it. But thank you. I appreciate the support.
Can we call it a night, Minnie? It's getting late.
Yeah.
All right.
Your wife is waiting for you.
No, she's not. I'm not even going to pretend that that's a thing that's going to be a thing. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the 5 Heart Podcast. You Chatterfield, you never cease to amaze me. I appreciate you greatly. It is a tremendous community and family that we have built here. Thursday nights, 9 o'clock Central, God's favorite time zone. Suck it, Josh Hansen. Thank you. Thank you for spending your time with us. I say it all the time. I stand by it. You do have a lot of entertainment options, and I appreciate that you choose to spend your time with us, and sometimes you even pay us, and you definitely don't have to, but we'll never turn it down. So, on behalf of myself, Greg Mahachko, Slovakian, not Italian, although I'm basically a mutt of Europe, for my co-host and friend, Minnie Hunt. There you go. She got a promotion even beyond co-host. We thank all of you. We wish you all a good night. And we remind you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Go Big Red!
What she said.